everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Pace University's Virtual Student Services webinar. My name is Alexa Dalbus. I'm an admissions counselor here at Pace University, located on our Pleasantville campus, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. For all of my admitted students joining us today, I'd just like to say congratulations on your acceptance and how far you have come. No one could have ever predicted what the spring had in store for us, but despite the challenges that were thrown at you, you've made it this far, you've overcome those challenges, and you're well on your way to becoming a setter in the fall. If you haven't already, that reminds me, make sure you submit that housing and tuition deposit. Our deadline is right around the corner on Monday, June 15th, so be sure to secure your spot and join us in the fall as a Pace University setter. Now, for all of my rising juniors and seniors joining us tonight, we can't wait to welcome you on campus this fall and invite you on campus for a tour, really to let you see what being a PACE student is all about. But I think that today you'll have a great opportunity to get introduced to what student life is like here at PACE. Now, joining me today are some of my colleagues from all around campus. They're here to talk to you about all of the different opportunities to get involved outside of the classroom. You'll have the opportunity to hear from student development and campus activities, the Office of Multicultural Affairs and the LGBTQA Center, athletics, intramurals, and recreation, study abroad, as well as our Center for Student Enterprise. But without further ado, I'm going to hand the mic over to Rachel Simon, the Interim Director of the Office of Multicultural Affairs, to kick things off.
Thanks, Alexa. It's nice to virtually see those of you I can see, and even those of you who are behind the scenes. I'm Rachel Simon. I use she, her, or they, them pronouns, and I'm the Interim Director of the Office of Multicultural Affairs, which houses the LGBTQA Center on the Pleasantville campus. And I'm also doing some work supporting the Office of Sexual and Interpersonal Wellness, which is a violence prevention initiative on campus in the office, the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And if that wasn't long enough, I also am adjunct faculty in Dyson. So at PACE, like you, we're thinking about issues of racial justice and injustice now, and looking at ways to make things better for us on campus, virtually on campus, and broadly in our communities and beyond. We're obviously also thinking about COVID-19, but there's less we can do about that right now. Some of the things we're thinking about and doing around racial justice are that our student government today held a town hall to hear from students and their big ideas to make things better. We came away with some great ideas for addressing faculty. And we are planning a celebration of the life of DJ Henry, who is a PACE student who was murdered by police almost 10 years ago. So we're thinking about him and ways to connect with his family and the foundation that they created to honor him in a more immediate way. The Division of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion has planned this amazing workshop for the month of July called Social Justice and You, that's open to all students, especially incoming first-year students. We would love to see you. And once I'm done talking, I will paste into the chat ways to sign up for that. And there's also a presidential task force that's coming up that will be made up of students, faculty, and staff in the fall to look at issues of racial justice. So now that I've talked about like big picture stuff, you're more interested in practical day-to-day programs and events. So I'm going to ask Khadija Shaw to talk a little bit about the Office of Multicultural Affairs.
Hello, everyone. Again, so happy to see some familiar faces from campus. Makes me feel good. Also, welcome to the incoming students. I'm so excited to have you guys join the PACE community. I am Khadija Shaw. I am currently the new SGA president, and I am also involved with like a whole bunch of other things on campus. you know, there's so many resources for students. Truly, it's amazing. And but specifically to talk about what Rachel Simon just mentioned, the Multicultural Affairs office, they actually helped us attend a event called the Black Solidarity Conference, which was at Yale University. Me and about three other girls attended that event, and it was for a weekend, and it was truly life-changing. So that was just one of the incredible things that the Multicultural Affairs Office has to offer for students. There's like so many activities. Of course, I've been involved in SJ since my freshman year, and if you don't want to be bored, you won't be. If you want to be involved, there are so many avenues you can go in. It's amazing, and there's so many friends that I'm able to still connect with to this day that have graduated. That's the great thing about a small campus. I feel like not a lot of students say that, but we're very close knit, and it really truly makes you feel at home. And so that's how I would describe PACE now. I'm a senior now, like I'm an ongoing senior now, and I would definitely describe PACE as my home now. So I will drop my SGA email if you have any questions about what clubs there are to get involved in, or the first couple of clubs I joined when I first came. And if you have any questions at all about student life, please bother me. I'm home. So, but yeah. And now I'll pass it over to the Unity and Justice Ambassador, Ashley.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashley. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and as Khadija said, I am the Unity and Social Justice Student Ambassador in SGA this year. I'm also the Pride at Pace President, which is a student-run organization on campus that holds events that host people like drag queens on campus and inform students about queer history and things of that sort. The LGBTQA Center on campus is one of my favorite places in all of PACE. They really do a great job in creating events that foster community for queer students. The past 3 years, I've been going to Q Camp, which is a queer leadership retreat that is run by and solely attended by queer students. I'm also a really big fan of the weekly discussion groups where we get together as just students and talk about queer policies, queer topics, all of that kind of stuff. What's really been fun is the past couple of months that we weren't able to be at school, and now that we're in the summer and everyone's home, running online virtual events for students to stay involved on campus, especially queer students who may not be able to be out at home. So the LGBTQA Center and Queer Life on Campus is just amazing. So I'll throw it back to Rachel here.
If I can find my unmute button. Thanks, Ashley and Khadija. I just want to add a few more programs out of our office. The Office of Multicultural Affairs runs the Alana Mentorship Program, which is for students of color and any marginalized student to basically have an upper class student mentor. And our mentors are all people who have been mentees in the past. I often joke that they only give you good advice, but they pretty much only give you good advice, right? Because they've been where you are as a first-year student. They've made the mistake of taking that 8:30 a.m. class and learned from it, or going up to the townhouses in the snow and wishing that they hadn't. So that is another program I wanted to talk about. But now I want to pass it to my friend and colleague, Sean Livingston.
Rachel, thanks for that. And to everyone that's here today, welcome. Like everyone's mentioned, I am Sean Livingston, the interim director for the Center for Student Development and Campus Activities. And, our office is a great supplement to the academic environment. In our center, what we work on is encouraging students on our campus to be relationship oriented, to try new things, to partner with one another, and ultimately so that they can learn and grow not only for themselves, but as a part of a community at large. That's a big part of our mission in the center. I forgot to mention, I use he, him, his pronouns. But getting on to a little bit more about our mission, our real goal outside of academics is to work with campus partners like you're going to hear from and the students that you're hearing from tonight to really create that vibrancy on our campus. When you think about going to college, I know at least I thought about this many moons ago when I went to school. I wanted to feel like I could be a part of campus. I wanted something to partake in and be a part of. I wanted that sense of community so that it felt like home. And, PACE really strives for that. And a big part of how we create that is partnering with not just other departments, but our students and really empowering them to bring their ideas, their values to action. And that naturally encourages other folks on our campus to do the same. In terms of programmatically what we do, we have a bunch of areas that you've probably heard other colleges talk about before, but at PACE, our center is the home for all student organizations. You've heard a bunch of them mentioned already. We have over 70 active student clubs and organizations right now, and we're growing every year. I even have students for the first time in my life contacting me over the summer asking when they can get rolling, so that's exciting. We also run a full leadership and service program called the Setters Leadership Program. It's a program intentionally designed for first and second year students and new transfer students, but it's a full-on certification program where we take students in small groups and talk to them about leadership and what that means to them as a part of a community here at PACE, but also in the broader scale of the world. We are home to fraternity and sorority life, so if you've heard about fraternities and sororities before, whether good or bad, we can tell you the truth and answer some real questions about the values that we have here, but it's a great experience. And we also do specific programming, like for upper class students or senior students, the first year cohort, our first generation college cohorts, our transfer students, and many, many more, including commuters. So those are kind of functional areas. And I just want to give you a feel. I always think pictures are better than words, but today we're just doing words. So we get an idea. Here's some campus traditions our students love. We do things like Week of Welcome, Homecoming Family Weekend. We have an amazing student run charitable event every fall and spring. We do a dance marathon for a local children's hospital. We do an annual Relay for Life in our spring. We have an annual carnival that's completely run by our Student Programming Board, which is an entity of our Student Government Association. And many, many more. I could keep listing them. We have trips off campus, Broadway shows, movie nights and lectures. I mean, there's really something for everyone if you're looking to be involved. And to give you a little student perspective, we've invited an amazing example here. So I'm going to turn this over to Miss Grania McKinley to tell you a little bit about her experience.
Hello, everyone. My name's Grania. I use she, her pronouns. I'm super excited to see you all today and welcome in our new Setter family. Just a little about myself. I am going into my junior year of nursing school, and I'm a part of the Four-Timers Honors College. So if you have any questions on that, feel free to drop them in. But I just kind of go over how SDCA and how the community has really impacted me over my past 2.5 years here at PACE. I know during my freshman year, I was so lost and confused. I didn't know what and how to go about things because I'm a first generation student. I'm coming in, I'm adjusting into this new college environment. And really the first kind of group that really welcomed me in was SDCA and all of these great organizations that are here today. And I know with conjunction with SDCA, I got involved in certain things like Hall Council, which is like a sidebar of Residence Hall Association. And I actually started a new club with a bunch of my friends called Ben's Bells, where we promote kindness and inclusion for all. And it's really as easy as Sean says, you really only have to get 8 people and it just starts growing like that. And we're part of that now 70 something, like he said, organizations and clubs. But the thing that really also sparked my interest freshman year was actually joining that Setters Leadership Program, like Sean said. That was a really, really impactful thing because it got me an introduction to everything and everything on campus. I met amazing mentors. I met amazing people such as Sean, such as Zacomo, who runs the organization. And it really helped me embark and explore on different things in my freshman year. So then kind of moving on to my sophomore year, after that exploration, I started diving in a little bit more into these things. And PACE really embodied that opportunity for me not to just explore, but to really dig in to what my interests were, not only as a nursing student, but where my morals and where my values really stand by. So this is when I joined the Honors College. This is when I got really more presidential roles in the National Student Nurses Association. I started working more conjunctively on advocacy projects within the Student Government Association. And this year, like, I started getting more involved in like making more advocacy events by doing like PACE Makes a Difference Day. That has to be one of my favorite events that is offered on campus because it really embodies a place that students can really make a difference on and off campus, really getting to volunteer at like our local farm on campus, but also at places like Gigi's Playhouse. That was a place that I went where we helped children with Down syndrome and we just played games with them and danced with them. And I don't think I would have had that opportunity if it wasn't for SDCA and joining all these clubs. But now I'm really embarking into my junior year. I'm really excited to be welcoming our new setters this upcoming summer, not only as a tour guide, but as an orientation staff member. So this year, I'm really trying to focus on giving back to the community that has helped me and all of these services that are here today talking. Like, not only am I going more into SGA as the College of Health Professions Ambassador, but I'm becoming an RA. And as you can tell, I'm super duper excited to get back and really get into the groove and how we can make a mark here at PACE. But I know I'm talking a lot, but I'll just wrap things up a little bit more. But SDCA really fosters a great sense of community on our campus by providing fun events and services, and by having these clubs and events that not only increase awareness and inclusion, but being able that cultural groups and all these people coming from all different areas can kind of combine together and create a community. And this is not just on campus, but off campus, like I mentioned before. They really strive to make all of our students feel welcome, accepted on and off campus. If they're commuters or residential students, like you name it, they're there for you. And I like really to quote something that Kayla Betticini, who also works at SDCA, really refers, and I think it embarks on everything that SDCA kind of stands for, is that they follow that Disney motto, to go above and beyond and to help every student feel warmed and welcomed and accepted on our campus. Like, they're here every single step of the way, from your first day to your last day on campus. And I can attest as a student that I not only see this at SDCA, but every single department that I've been a part of or been to, they really have their own little spark that makes them special and makes all of us setters feel welcomed and at home. So I can just say, I thank you so much for everything that you guys have done. And thank you so much for letting me speak here today and making all these amazing students and opportunities available for us. So thank you. Love you all. Have a good one.
And
Back to Sean.
that describes exactly why we do what we do, which is pretty cool. I just want to mention we are running some summer engagement programs. I will drop the link in the chat. It's going to be pace.edu/setterconnections. So as incoming prospective students that are going to be here in the fall, if you want to start to engage in some of these awesome activities that are run by departments and or student groups, feel free to check that out throughout the summer. No pressure, but we'd love to see you there. And without further ado, a great friend and colleague from our athletic department, Mr. Matt Anthony.
Thanks, Sean. And hello, everyone. My name is Matt Anthony. I use he, him, his pronouns, and am the Assistant Athletics Director for Compliance. Joining me today is Annie Keppel-Palmer, who is a current student athlete on our swimming and diving team. First, I'm going to give a brief overview of everything the department has to offer, and then Annie will give an insight into what being a student athlete is like here at PACE. First, we are part of the National Collegiate Athletic Association, also known as the NCAA. We are a Division II institution. We're also a member of the Northeast 10 Conference, which is comprised of 14 member institutions located across the Northeast. We have 14 NCAA-sponsored sports. That really just means that there's an NCAA championship associated with those sports. We have 6 on the men's side: baseball, basketball, cross country, football, lacrosse, and swimming and diving. And we have 8 on the women's side: basketball, cross country, field hockey, lacrosse, soccer, softball, swimming and diving, and volleyball. We also oversee our spirit squad, which is comprised of our cheerleading team, dance team, and pep band. Those 3 sports are not technically NCAA sponsored sports, just because, like I said before, they don't have an NCAA championship associated with them. But they are considered varsity sports here at PACE, and they are student athletes since they fall under our purview. And all 3 of those teams are co-ed as well. I get a lot of questions about tryouts. Each head coach determines their own tryout availability. So if you want to try out for a team, then you should email the head coach to see if there's an opportunity for a tryout, because some coaches, their rosters might be full and they might not have an opportunity for a tryout. All of our contact information can be found on our website, www.paceuathletics.com, and under the staff directory. In addition to our varsity sport offerings, we do offer 2 club sports in conjunction with SDCA. That's men's soccer and co-ed golf. We also offer intramural opportunities and recreational fitness activities. We are awaiting guidelines from New York State and the university as to how we're going to handle those operations, as they may be a little different with social distancing protocols. But this past spring during remote learning, we did offer eSport intramural opportunities along with weekly step challenges, just as a couple of examples of our virtual offerings, which we will continue to run. We also had various fitness classes run through Zoom as well that were open to the entire PACE community. Now I'm going to turn it over to Annie, who's going to give some insight into what it's like to be a student athlete here at PACE.
Thank you, Matt. So my name is Annie, and I use she, her, hers pronouns. And just like everyone else said, I'm excited to be here with everyone. So a little bit about me. I am about to be a senior business economics major, and I'm minoring in finance, and I'm on the PACE swimming and diving team. So being a student athlete, a lot of people always ask me, how am I able to fit everything into each day? So I'll run you through a typical day of mine when I'm in my season. So normally I have lift at about between 6 and 6:30, and then we'll have practice immediately afterwards. And then following practice is actually my favorite part of the day, which is breakfast. And not just because I like to eat, but because the swim team, we always have breakfast as a team, and that's been a tradition of ours. We've done that every single day for as long as I can remember, and we love hanging out with our teammates outside of the pool just as much as we love to do inside of the pool. So after that, I'll have a couple of classes, maybe practice again some days, and then in the evening, that's the time where I normally dedicate towards working on campus, or attending club meetings or events, and then basically eat, sleep, repeat for the next 5 days. So as you can tell, I keep extremely busy. So one of the biggest challenges for me being a student athlete is definitely time management. But if you keep organized, it is possible to be involved in as much as you want to at PACE. So for me, outside of swim, I am the president of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. I'm also part of SGA, and I do have 2 on-campus jobs. So I'm living proof that if you put your mind to it and you keep organized, you can be as involved as you like on campus, even being a student athlete. So athletics also has so many benefits, and you could hear me talk all day about the benefits of being a student athlete, but my biggest benefit is definitely the family and community aspect that Sean touched on previously. So for me, being an international student, I'm from the UK, so I'm really far away from my family when I'm at school, and that can be very easy to get homesick, especially when I'm so far away. So definitely having my teammates, I automatically had over 20 friends on campus before I even stepped foot at PACE. So this isn't just in athletics, this is really in our campus as a whole. And being a smaller school, you always get to see familiar faces, which is super comforting, especially when you're a freshman. So I hope this gave you an insight on being a student athlete at PACE. I will leave my email in the chat if you have any questions, and I will do my very best to answer them. I'll leave my personal email and my student government email, so feel free to message me on whichever one is easiest for you. So I'll pass it back to Matt.
Thanks for sharing, Annie. And she's a rock star in the PACE community. Before we move on in the presentation, I just want to reemphasize, and I put it in the chat, that our website, www.paceuathletics.com, has all information relating to our department, and it's where you can find more information on everything that we just covered. Thank you for joining and listening. I'll now turn over to my colleague, Madi McCarthy, who will go over education abroad.
Thank you, Matt. As he just said, my name is Maddie. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I am a study abroad advisor at Pace University. So just to start off, although global travel is currently at a halt and we are all generally staying put, as we should, what is good about this timeline is for those of you that are incoming to PACE, students don't typically start studying abroad until around their second year of university. So this is actually a very good time for you to go ahead and start being prepared, learning about what PACE has to offer so that you can, choose the experience that works best for you. So we have hundreds of PACE students that go abroad every year on multiple types of programs in over 50 different countries. Just to give you a little overview of the types of programs that we offer, we have what are called faculty-led programs where students take class with a PACE professor and then study abroad with that class, usually for 1 to 2 weeks afterwards. And the class size is usually around 10 to 20 other PACE students. We also have the typical semester programs, fall or spring or academic year. You can go abroad for a whole year. And then we also have the short programs such as summer or January session. We have lots of resources online for you at our website, which is just www.pace.edu/study abroad, including a tab on our website called scholarships that I really wanted to highlight in particular, because this website has over 50 different resources of different scholarship opportunities available for study abroad students. Depending, no matter, how briefly you're going abroad for, or where you're going, or what your major is, there are scholarship opportunities for you on that website. We hope to send you abroad during your time at PACE. Our office is hosting a virtual study abroad fair. We hold one every semester. The one for the fall 2020 term is going to be on September 9th, and there will be details available on our website, hopefully in the next 1 to 2 weeks, of what that is exactly going to look like. So now I would just like to introduce Kendra, who is one of our student staff. She went abroad on a semester program to Spain and has actually been working for our office in the New York City campus for the past 2 years, helping to advise students just like you.
Hello, yeah, I'm Kendra. I actually just recently graduated from PACE, so yay. Thank you. So I studied abroad the second semester, spring semester of my sophomore year to Comillas in Madrid, Spain. It was an amazing experience. I personally majored in international management and I minored in Spanish and marketing, and I really wanted to go to a place where I could practice my Spanish speaking skills while also practicing international management, and that really fit very well for me from one of the things that I wanted to learn. The cultural experiences, the food, the people that I met really was unlike anything that I've experienced like currently in the United States. While PACE does have like a world-class education, I think having so many international students from across so many different countries really gives a different perspective to you. It really kind of opens your eyes to the world around you outside of the US. And I think it was a really, really important experience for me to have as an international management student, even as like a business student as well. And the memories that I had and the people that I met, I personally use currently in my career, and I will use the rest of my life. And I'm very, very grateful for being able to live my life in a different country for 5 months. So I definitely recommend any student to have that experience, to learn from those experiences, and to take it with you even after PACE, because I definitely will. So thank you, Maddie.
No problem. So without further ado, we're going to just pass it on to my colleague, Kathy, who works with the Center for Student Enterprise.
Hi, thank you so much. I am Kathy Winstead. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I am a marketing professor here at Pace University. I also teach the Introduction to Business class, or Business 101 class. About 10 years ago, 2 of my freshman students in that class came to me and said they wanted to start an entrepreneurship club. As Sean mentioned, you can start clubs when you want to at Pace. It doesn't take much to get it going. And so we talked about what would an entrepreneurship club do, and they said, well, let's start a business. So we started the Pace Perk Cafe, a late night cafe, which 10 years later is still open every single night from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Chase Ware is a sophomore, is a marketing manager here. She's here with me today to help us tell you about the Pace Perk and what they're doing. We have now expanded that into something called the Center for Student Enterprise. We have 5 student-run businesses. We have 90 students in paid positions who also sometimes get internship credits for those positions. They are business majors and business minors learning how to run a business. We have about 50 of them in management positions. And we have a Shark Tank that happens regularly where we invite students to come in with their business ideas. And if they win the competition, we will try to start their business as a new business on campus. And a couple of our most recent businesses came from that process of being student initiated. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about a couple of our businesses, then have students tell you about 3 that they work at. One of them is PACE Connect. It is a research center that does research for various PACE departments and some outside clients. And Khadija, who spoke to you earlier, worked there as our client relations manager at that business. We have PACE Mart, which is a convenience store, cafe combination in the library. So you don't need to leave the library to get great coffee and snacks and any convenience items that you might want. And they just recently got that on the meal card where they can actually take your meal card to buy stuff there. So that is a big perk of that. As I said, Chase Ware is here with us. She is a sophomore. She is the senior marketing manager at PACE Perk, and we'll talk to you about that. We also have Jack Needham with us, who is a sophomore, who is the senior marketing manager at PACE Delivers, which delivers food late at night to students. And Jack will tell you a little bit about maybe starting to deliver breakfast food as well. And we have Ava Petrillo, who as a freshman is the senior operations manager at PACE Fit, our newest business that is a smoothie bar in the gym. So I'm going to turn it over now to Chase and let her tell you, and she will pass it on to the others.
All right, hello, my name is Chase Ware. I use she, her, hers pronouns. And yes, I am the senior marketing manager of PACE Perk Cafe. So Perk is basically like a late night option. It's open from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. every day. Our employees come in at about 8:30 to 8:45 to set up, and they leave at around 1:30 to 2 a.m. depending on how big the cleanup is. So yes, we are open very late at night. So some of the really cool things about Perk is that we accept the meal plan. So the same money that you'd spend at our main dining option Kessel is the same money that you'd be putting into Perk's business, which is amazing. Just a little bit about me. So I've been working at Perk for basically my entire PACE career. So I was hired in September of 2018. At the end of my freshman year, I was promoted to assistant marketing manager. And now at the end of my sophomore year, I've been promoted to senior marketing manager. And I'm just really excited for all the things that I have in store for Perk. Just some quick things that all of our employees learn working at Perk are basically teamwork, communication skills, and also leadership skills. So you have the opportunity to move up in the ranks really early on. You can be a shift manager and then join one of our management teams as assistant manager and then senior manager. So it's pretty cool. One of the exciting things that I'm planning on doing is having a 10.5 annual party. So kind of weird having 10.5 and not 10, but unfortunately due to COVID, we weren't able to celebrate Perk's 10th birthday this past April. So sometime this fall, I'm hoping on having a 10.5 annual party to commemorate the fact that Perk has been open for 10 plus years. But yeah, and I'm now gonna pass it off to Jack to talk more about Delivers.
Hi guys, I'm Jack. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I work for senior marketing manager at PACE Delivers. And we do nightly order deliveries to the resident buildings on Pleasantville campus from Buffalo Wild Wings, Chipotle, Applebee's, Asian Legend, McDonald's, and the local favorite Rockies. So we've recently been working on the app. So we have a new app that is easy for students to use to quickly order every night, as well as we do daily specials per every day. So a lot of things the main thing you're gonna hear through orientation and just talking to everyone is gonna be Opportunitas. I think the Center for Student Enterprise really sort of focuses on that. Within 2 months as a freshman, I had a job and an assistant marketing role. So you sort of see how there are a lot of doors can open very quickly. So that's something I think that really I saw very quickly as a freshman at PACE. And just moving forward, we're looking forward to adding a breakfast delivery options to the classroom buildings this fall, as well as we're looking to cater more of the student organizations on campus, so you can get a little bit better food at events. So now I'm going to pass over to Ava to talk about PACE Fit.
Hi, my name is Ava and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am an upcoming sophomore at PACE, and I am the Senior Operations Manager for PACE Fit, which is our newest business on campus. I started working at PACE Fit the fall of my freshman year, so it's going to be 1 year coming up. I was quickly promoted during that semester as Assistant Operations Manager, and then at the end of that semester, I was promoted to the real Operations Manager, so that was really exciting and fun to do. And I still am the Operations Manager, so it still is fun. We are conveniently located in the fitness center, which will hopefully be open for the fall semester. And we offer fresh juices, smoothies, and protein shakes, as well as a variety of healthy snacks and beverages. My job at FIT is to create and implement procedures and ensure that employees are following those procedures, since those shifts are mainly run by one employee. And the great thing about working for FIT is that it has taught me how to manage employees and what leadership styles work best for certain situations. And also twice a semester, the other senior managers and I get to present in front of a board of people any updates we have about the business, which helps me build my public speaking skills, which I definitely value. So I'm gonna hand it back over to Dr. Winstead and she can close it out.
Great, thank you so much. So if you are planning to major in business or even minor in business, have an interest in running a business, definitely look into getting jobs at the Center for Student Enterprise. I have put the link in the chat, and as you can see, these people are managing departments of 2 to 4 people already as freshmen and sophomores and have all kinds of opportunities. If you're not going to major in business, please still plan to support us as customers. So you could support the student businesses, get free food, get food delivered to your dorm at night, or go to Pace Perk, check out Pace Mart and Pace Fit, and we will appreciate that you are customers there. So Alexa, turning it back over to you for closing words.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, everybody. What an insightful information session. I do want to take a moment to open it up for Q&A. So please, at this time, feel free to utilize that chat feature. Ask any questions that you may have about, getting involved on campus and the different opportunities to do so. But to start things off, I'm going to open it up to the students first. You've talked all day, or all for the last hour, about all the different opportunities to get involved with. So do you have any tips for incoming students about ways to get involved and how they can, kind of navigate their first few weeks on campus to make sure that they are getting involved?
I have some advice for incoming students. So when I was a freshman, I went to the involvement fair. We have an involvement fair every year, and that basically all the student organizations on campus, they have a table and they have a tabling events where you can write down your email. They can send you regular emails about what time they meet, if they have any events, anything like that. And I think when I was a freshman, my first semester, I was going to a different event every single day of the week. Especially like I said before, I'm an international student, so it's not like anyone from my high school was coming to college with me. And I really wanted to make as much friends as possible. So I was making friends at so many different events, and I would really recommend that to other freshmen as well.
Any other students want to offer some advice?
I have been involved in so many things on campus that I can't even keep track of them on all 10 of my fingers. There's so many things that just come your way as you continue your time at PACE. I think that's one of the best parts about it being a small campus, is that if you want to be involved in everything, you absolutely can, and you will be happily received anywhere. Everyone loves participation and they love getting people out there. So I think one of my favorite things is that you could just walk into the student center and look into Gottesman and go to the event. You could just walk by thinking that you're going to go to the library and maybe stop for 15 minutes and hang out with one of the cultural sororities. I mean, there's a plethora of things you can do all the time that you just get roped into and don't even realize it's going to happen. So I think it's just really leaving yourself open to all of the possibilities that PACE gives you.
Very cool. Anyone else want to add anything?
I can echo off what those two amazing people were saying. Really, PACE's motto is Opportunitas, and they offer so many opportunities, not only with you to get involved on an e-board, but they make sure you can also get involved in other things, like just attending an event or even getting involved in a sport. I know I'm not the most athletic person, but I got involved in intramural sports, and lucky enough, my team won freshman year. Like, they really, really embody not only like these programs for you to just have fun and get involved, but they also look great on resumes. They look great as you progress on in your career. Like, they have specific organizations that match your own interests. Like they said, with all the Center of Student Enterprises, all those match those business students. There's ones for international students. There's one for nursing students. Like, they really foster communities that are eligible for you and your interests to get involved with. And if it's not there for you, you can start it up. So like, it's really there. And I just encourage you guys to just take upon that opportunity and just open up that door and try new things. Because college is a year, like 4 years of exploration for you to enjoy and to try new things. Like, not trying to use the motto YOLO, but you only live once, and take upon this opportunity here at PACE to do that.
Some very wise words. Thank you. Next up, our question is for education abroad. In terms of studying abroad, should students anticipate an additional financial expense to come along with that abroad experience?
So going for a semester abroad, for example, which I think is our most common study abroad option, students will be paying, in terms of how it works for cost, students will be paying their typical PACE tuition to PACE. You would not be paying the tuition of whatever foreign university you attend, but you would be paying the housing directly to the foreign university and would not be paying PACE's housing. So depending on where you go, honestly, even in the more expensive countries and locations like, England, Spain, for example, I'm sure Kendra could talk a little bit about her housing if she wanted to. The cost can often be at most relatively similar to PACE's housing cost, but more often than not, actually less than what PACE's housing costs. So in terms of any additional, fees, extra tuition, that kind of thing, there is not, which is great. I don't know if Kendra had something to add about her housing experience, but if not, that's pretty much it. And then we also have a tab on our website, as I mentioned before, specifically labeled costs and financial aid, that goes into all of the detail of paying for any of our programs, faculty-led, semester, short-term, how much financial aid you can use towards these programs. Again, the scholarship information, it's all there.
Fantastic. I think one really unique feature of PACE is the fact that we do have a small-scale farm on campus. So does anyone want to talk about some opportunities to get involved there and just about what it contributes to campus? Grania, I see a smile on your face. I know you want to talk.
I didn't want to just jump in, but I love our farm on our campus. Oh my God. This is probably one of my favorite stops, even when I go on a tour, when we get to go here, because it's something so unique to our campus. PACE really loves to incorporate sustainability and enhance our eco footprint on our campus. Not only has it shown in our academic portion, because we are #1 in environmental law, which is amazing, but our farm is a great way for our environmental students to really get involved and have that outdoor experience and those laboratory opportunities, similar as a nursing student, to get those hands-on approach. But I know when I go there, it's a beautiful area where you can go on nature walks. They have birds of prey. We have a master falconer. His name is Bill, and he is so awesome. He has a cool dog that walks around. There's sheep, there's goats. The baby little chicks come out in the spring, and everyone goes in there and pets them up in their incubators. It's a cool job opportunity, but it's also a really cool place for just to de-stress and to take in the natural beauty of the area that we're in. There's flowers. I can go on and on and on about how beautiful the farm is and the efforts that they made. I think they also incorporated a thing called the Elephant Bill, which means PACE students were the first university student-wise to create a bill to make sure that elephants within circuses and entertainment businesses are getting abolished from, and making sure animal rights are being established. So they're making sure that they're making all of our students embody the actual academic portions of their components of their academic structure, but also including it into that personal and awesome experience, like outdoor experience. So I love the farm. Milo the pig, love him. Sorry,
Milo's the best.
I'll stop now.
No, I feel like I can go on and on about the farm too. My favorite is when I get to hear the goats just in the background out of my office window, and I'll just be, you know, working on a project, and all of a sudden in the background you just hear, and it's hilarious. So I love the farm. It's very positive environment on campus. Now, I got some question for our the students involved with our student-run businesses. Just in terms of working at those businesses and your experiences, what do you feel has been one of the most rewarding parts of the job for you?
I'll start with that one. I think the rewardingest part is just seeing the business do well. Like, I think coming over from Pace Perk, when I was at Pace Perk, Chase talked about the annual party. When I was senior manager there, the annual party, we had good expectations, but then sort of showing that the organization allows us to put in extra work and kind of see the greater rewards. Having a great annual party is something really special, as well as coming over to Pace Delivers. We are still a new business, just sort of seeing the business do better, as well as like implementing new things in around campus, like the breakfast and the catering possibility. That's a big part of it.
Very cool.
For me, I was going to say Pace Fit is the newest business, and when I came, they were only open for half a semester. So I would say the most rewarding thing for me is just to see, you see one problem and then you have to come up with a way to fix it, and then all of a sudden that problem's fixed. So for me, that's the most rewarding part, just finding ways to problem solve and implement new procedures so that it makes the employees' lives easier, but it also makes the customers happy. I enjoy seeing that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I kind of just want to piggyback off of Jack's. So for the events, I think the most rewarding part is just to see how engaged all of the students are. So like when they like have their little like mason jar painted and they can say like, wow, I went to this marketing event and I had this, and they can just put it in their dorm. It's just amazing. Just like also seeing all the posters and stuff that we made all around campus, I think that's just amazing too, just to see like all of our hard work pay off. And just like working shifts and stuff like that. I think this year was really rewarding for me, just being able to train all of the new freshmen and just like seeing them improve. I just love when people improve. So that was amazing for me in that aspect. But yeah.
Fantastic. So I've got one more question for my students in the room. Why Pace? What kind of made you come to Pace? I think our students in the chat, they kind of want to hear just what drew you to the school and what's made your experience so just memorable and special so far.
I'm a digital cinema and filmmaking major, and when I was touring all the different colleges that I was looking at, they all had pretty much the same stuff. There was film and screen studies courses, there was a lab you could rent equipment from, there was computer labs for you to utilize. But the thing that sold me on Pace when I was on campus doing a tour was I was introduced to a course entitled Producing the Documentary, which is actually a study abroad faculty-led course where you go somewhere abroad and you film a documentary over spring break and you spend your entire semester putting that together and creating a finished product. And as soon as I saw all the different places they had been, like Amsterdam, Curacao, Mexico, it was just mind-boggling that I had never heard of anything like this before. And it was so unique that Pace had it. And I said, I need to go here and I need to go on that trip. And thankfully I did sophomore year, and it like just blew me out of the water having that hands-on experience so early in my college career.
For me, I came from a really small school, and the class sizes weren't too big or anything like that. And I really like making personal, connections and relationships with, my professors, my teachers, and also a lot of staff. So like even a lot of the staff that are on this webinar now, I have personal relationships with them because that's the type of person that I am. So I definitely think that I knew I didn't want to go to a massive school where the professors wouldn't know my name. I really like the fact that at Pace, you can build those personal connections with your professors, because a lot of the time your professors are actually adjunct professors, so they actually still are working in the industry as they're teaching. So that's amazing for building connections. Make sure you add them on LinkedIn, and you never know where they may be able to help you, post Pace. So that's definitely that was my main reason for PACE.
I would love to jump into this. So I am originally from Maryland. If you don't know where that is, it's like 30 minutes away from DC, Washington, DC. So I'm pretty far from New York. But the reason I picked PACE was the fact that it has 2 campuses. That's what sold me, because I don't know a lot of universities like that. Actually, I don't know one university like that. So the fact that there is a campus in the middle of Manhattan, and then there's another campus in Westchester, was what really sold me, because you get that kind of suburban life with the trees and great environment and different types of people. And then you can take a 45-minute train ride into the big city. And get, a lot of people do internships there. I've done internships in the city before, and then I'll come back to campus at night in Westchester. So taking advantage of that, and you can also have classes in the city as well. So just taking advantage of all of those opportunities that PACE has really, really changed my perspective on people and life and culture and things like that. So that's what really sold me to come to PACE.
Anyone else have anything to add before we wrap on up?
Mine's kind of a little similar to Khadijah's. So originally coming, this is where I wanted to come because I knew it's the best place for me to develop personally and professionally. So as a business student, I know I want to live in the city eventually and work in the city. So my plan coming in was to go 2 years Pleasantville and then 2 years in the city. And now here I am at the 2-year mark, and there's no way I could possibly leave Pleasantville and all like the relationships and all the clubs and organizations I've been a part of. So I think it kind of shows that like I can still have those opportunities down in the city being up here in Pleasantville, and that's something really special to me.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much, everyone who attended and participated. We really can't thank you enough for joining us on a Friday afternoon. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to, just spend some time with us, getting to learn more about PACE. There have been plenty of emails and links in the chat, so feel free to copy those down if you'd like to chat with anyone else in regards to, more information in these different areas of campus life. Our students, as well as our faculty and staff, would be more than happy to answer any additional questions. Just don't be a stranger. I will also put my personal email in there as well. So if any of you have any additional questions, you can also reach out to me directly. But thank you again, everyone, for joining us, all of our participants, as well as our guests. And we hope you have a wonderful weekend. You're staying safe, happy, and healthy. And we cannot wait to see you on campus in the fall. Have a great night.
Thank you. Hope to see you in
Bye.
the fall.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.